our family room. It's a room in which the walls meet at odd angles. There are no right angles. And we had a seating arrangement that paralleled the walls. About 35 years ago, after we moved into the house, I designed this custom table to match the alignment of the furniture. And you can see that it's got strange angles, no right angles in it. It's a very nice table with laminate top and laminate sides. It has custom pockets in it for storage. It worked out very well, but recently Lori and I find that we're often sitting here while we're eating our dinner at the same time as we're watching TV, which is over there, and the tabletop is too low. So that's the problem. And I decided to design a new table that would meet our needs. My friend Lewis assisted me with many of the tasks. We bought rough lumber in Wisconsin, including these rough cherry wood turning blocks. Here, I'm using a jointer to begin squaring two faces of the wood. Next, the thickness planer makes parallel faces on each block. I need to glue two 3x3-inch blocks together to make the 3x6-inch pieces needed for each leg. I'm inserting biscuits to help with the alignment. I next plane the glued blocks to the desired thickness. This is the bandsaw jig I built to cut the leg cross sections into a parallelogram shape. I fashioned this sled to pass the wood through the bandsaw. I made yet another sled jig to hold the legs vertically in the table saw for cutting 2-inch deep castle joint dados at the tops of each leg. Note the parallelogram cross section of the leg as viewed from above. Later, I used my friend Mark's radial arm saw to taper two sides of each leg with precise bevel cuts. Here are the completed cherry table legs. You can see where two pieces were glued side by side. I made these angled sides. I next cut the castle joint dados. You can see that everything is at an odd angle. My last step was to fashion the tapers at yet a different angle to keep the edges of the foot parallel to the top edges of each leg. With the jointer and planer, I cut 5/4 rough boards of soft maple into true 1-inch boards. Here, I'm using Japanese pull saws and a variety of sharp chisels to cautiously fashion my puzzle-like castle joints. Here's one of the table sides. You can see that the notches were made for the castle joints. You can probably appreciate that all the angles are made to parallel the castle joint and the table legs. This portion here extends along the side of the table leg and is not part of the castle joint. There's only a 2-inch arm that's included in each castle joint. You can also see that there's a notch here so that the Baltic birch table bottom can fit into the notch. So this is one of the table sides. All the pieces fit together securely without using any glue at all. Though it's probably a bit excessive, I'm putting in about 30 screws to hold the bottom to the sides. I intentionally fit the lift top mechanism on a diagonal so that the table would rise toward the two sides where Lori and I sit while eating. After considerable sanding, I epoxied the inside of the box and applied multiple coats of tung oil, shellac, and furniture wax to the outside. Here is the completed table base. I'm laying out the wood that I'm going to use for the tabletop. I've laminated some wood and I'm varnishing it to use as a caul in the new four-way clamps that I bought. Here are two of the clever four-way clamps with their cauls in place. Here we're gluing 3 panels together at a time, then gluing the sub-assemblies together into larger panels to complete the tabletop. I'm using the flat dining room table as a base. You can appreciate that we're all working very fast before the glue has time to set up. We're inserting little pieces of wax paper so that the glue doesn't adhere to the cauls or to the planks. We're using 4 of the four-way clamps and additionally 4 bar clamps to augment the clamping pressure. Here's the large panel with everything glued together. Following yet more sanding, I fashioned the corners and edges of the tabletop. And here I'm using that oil-based finish on both the upper and under surface of the tabletop, 3 coats each. This is how the completed table looks in place in the family room.